Hi, welcome back to the podcast. We are so happy you're joining us for this episode. We're excited. Simone, what are we talking about today?
Welcome back, guys. So today, we're still in the first half of the year.
Yeah,
Or first quarter of the year.
quarter.
First quarter. We have not even scratched first half, but first quarter. And we're in the season where we're still very motivated, we're energized, we have goals, we set them out. But what we want to talk about today, and this is really in anticipation of when we get to a time where motivation has hit low.
Because the people have to achieve.
But the people have to achieve. There's goals to be achieved.
Yeah.
How do you leverage grit to keep yourself going? So, for today's episode, what we're going to talk about is what is grit, when does it really matter, when is it time to actually move on, and what are some systems that can help you achieve your goals?
When is it good to give up?
Not in so many words, but eventually.
When is the right time?
When is the right time to say?
I've had enough of this, my goal.
I've tried.
Even me, I've tried.
Even me, I've tried. Okay, but let's start with a very simple question. What does grit mean to you?
I think to me, grit just means perseverance. It means like the way I think I saw a post recently that resonated with me. Discipline is remembering who you say you want to be.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like grit is that, like you remember who you said you want to be and you go at it.
Okay, I mean, that's actually fair.
Yeah,
that's actually fair. And it actually resonates with the way grit has been defined, but at least let's say Angela Duckworth.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's more around like values. So persisting with your values. It's not persisting for just like persisting sake. And but okay. So maybe what would you say that at least this year is the main thing that you want to persist on, or one thing that you want to persist on?
This year being 2026.
Yeah, this year 2026.
Because I'm still in that in between where I'm like, am I in 2025?
Am I coming out of 2025? Yeah.
One thing I want to achieve this year is focus.
Yeah.
I am like, because I have many passions or many things I think I can do. Over the years, I just end up doing a lot of things, and I feel like for a lot of things, a lot of important things you need to achieve, or a lot of big goals that you have, or a lot of big corporations or big anything, they need focus.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to reduce the number of things I get excited about, and I say, I can also do that. I'm so qualified to do that. Let me go try it. No, this year I just want to focus on things that are maybe 2 or 3 goals, and then like just narrow down on those things. So my biggest, if I'm to summarize my goals in 2026 into one thing, it's focus. I need to focus.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's very easy to get excited about new things, and then but the challenge, like when the excitement has gone, it's like it fizzles out, and then you're back to square one again. Yeah. So with that focus, at least helping one to stay on track.
I'm going to go to medical school.
No, we already cancelled that plan from 2025, 2026.
They cancelled it for now.
Yeah. So no, we've cancelled it. So they're not like for now. We've cancelled it.
That's an example of like I'll think about something and I'll start pursuing it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go.
I think for me it is consistency. I think, and this is why this topic kind of like resonated with me a lot, is how do you keep going like when your motivation, like your motivation is low? And I'm trying to this year decouple how I feel about something from the fact that it's something I need to do.
Yeah.
And just trying to remind myself that I don't always have to enjoy it. I don't always have to feel great about it. But if it's something I want to do, then I just have to go through it.
100%. And I think that's super powerful because like a lot of times we just always think about, we over-index on our emotions.
Yes, that's true.
And a lot of things in life, like you cannot depend on your emotions.
Yeah, 100%.
You just need to do, if you even like your marriage or something that's not even work, you can't depend on how you're feeling about that marriage at that point.
Well, exactly.
You just have to keep like, I'm here, I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to love this person, and just doing that every time. So even with work, career, like we just I don't feel like it today. No good thing has ever happened. Feeling.
I think also people like we emphasize like feeling happy.
Yeah.
As opposed to like being joyful. But again, that's another deep thing. Which we can talk more about in another episode, but I'm actually curious. Have you ever stayed in something that you felt like, oh, I've outstayed the time I needed to stay here for? I stayed longer than I should have, and I should have just stopped earlier.
Yeah. A couple of things, like one in career, two in like relationships, like dating. No, and I'm pretty quick about leaving any situation or any relationship that I'm very, honestly, maybe sometimes too quick.
Okay, like no nonsense.
Yeah. A little too no nonsense.
You don't wait for see finish.
Yes. But my previous relationship before I got married, I felt like I waited a little too long. Like I just knew.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad person, was an amazing person. But you just know this is not really going
We're
anywhere.
not really going anywhere.
But he's such a good person.
Yeah.
Like that, I just couldn't get myself to potentially hurt a good person, knowing I will still hurt him.
Yeah.
Just hurt him now.
Now I'm getting over with. Yes.
There's that. And then career, there are times when I felt like I have outgrown this job.
Yes.
But either like, there's just also, which is not the topic for today, but like there's also something to be said about, I love the 9-to-5 career, you know that.
Yes,
but
I know.
there's also something to be said about once you've worked in a 9-to-5 setting where you have this consistent paycheck.
Yeah.
For maybe over 10 years.
Yeah.
You don't know who you are without that.
Exactly, because I mean, you built your life, your lifestyle around
something coming
consistently. Yeah.
So I've had times when it felt like I've outgrown this role, I've outgrown this setup. This setup just doesn't work for me anymore. And there's this deep inner push for something more. But I'm like, oh, so I should leave so that I will have this consistent paycheck.
You can see shaking.
So I've kind of like just persevered longer than I should have.
Yeah. And also, to be fair, well, for me, I'm not a knee-jerk person. I'm not a person that if I feel something now, I must
act on it.
Yeah. So there've definitely been times when I've stayed in something longer than I should have. But for me, the question is, why am I staying? It has to, the why for me is important. Is it a thing of like deferred gratification? Is it a thing of, okay, I'm planning my strategy of my next move? It's not just that, oh, okay, I've come to a realization that I'll leave this thing. Okay, bye. And then I go figure it out. For me, it's more of like, there has to be a why of what of why I'm staying in that situation. And I try to make it evident to myself what it is and how long I'm going to be there for before I leave. So if it's a relationship, then maybe I'm evaluating if maybe a certain criteria has been met or not. And once that criteria, the moment my evaluation is clear and I have the score, see you later. Bye. In fact, yeah, I don't stay too long.
Yeah, that's fair. Like there are times you just stay just to even make sure you understand the situation and you're not reacting based on emotions.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But then if we were to take a step back, when would you say it's okay to actually say, oh, I'm done with this goal. I'm quitting this goal. This thing is not for me. Like, is it ever okay to say that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of wisdom, or there's a lot of there's a lot of even grit required to give up on something.
Like, okay, tell me more.
It's not easy to. There's this idea of sunk cost.
Yes, exactly. Sunk cost,
which is something that holds a lot of people back in certain situations or certain things.
Let's say you've invested 10 years in dating.
In dating.
Yeah, dating over 10 years.
Yeah. I hate the sunk cost fallacy. I know it's real. Like sunk costs are real. But like it will hurt me so much to know the only reason I'm in this is because of the sunk cost. It's because of what I've invested. 10 years, like even some of my friends say, you don't believe in sunk cost. I don't.
I know you mentioned that multiple times.
I will hate to now look back, and the reason I'm in that marriage is and the reason is valid, but I don't like the idea that the reason I'm here is because I've invested so much. Let me not invest 12 years. If it's 10 years, let's move on with 10. But 10 years is a lot. So for me, I think at the point, I think the real wisdom is understanding, like, how do you know it's the right time to give up on something? Like, there are times when I like, you want to give up on a business you've been working on, but you're like, if I actually just push 6 more months, maybe it will work. And you keep giving the 6 months, 6 months, 6 months until 10 years becomes 13. So like, how do you know that you've tried everything that you can? So for me,
that's a really good and, to be honest, even like difficult question. Because yes, you're saying 6 months, but I also think you need to know what you're measuring in that 6 months. I was
going to say that. Yeah. Like for me now, because of that, because I've always said, oh, if I would maybe did 2 more months, maybe it could actually work. And then 2 months before you know it, it's Happy New Year. So like, what I do now is, even if I'm starting a business, even like my career now, I'm now learning, and we'll talk about career later, but like, I'm now learning to think of my career in, do I say episodes? Maybe the first episode is the first 10 years. What do I want to achieve for those 10 years? So any project, I'm very clear on, like, I'm going to start this business and I'm going to do this, this, and this for the first 12 months. If I can achieve maybe 60% of these things, it's worth pushing further. It's what you understand. Like, if it could be something like, if I make $10,000 from this business in 6 months, I'll push it further for the next 3 months. So you just put those milestones, which is something corporate America we do very well.
But when
it comes to our own life, we're just like, but this is the business I've been called to.
My passion.
That passion.
It's deep.
It's really deep.
It's deep. I actually agree with you on that point, because even like from a research standpoint, like, you have to be able to differentiate when good is good enough. In the sense, like you mentioned, is 60% good enough for me to keep pushing relative to the expectation for this maybe kind of business or this kind of work? And if I'm achieving 20% given that same time frame, is that good enough? And should I move on? And I think that we don't spend enough time
doing that.
It's just like mentioning, I'm passionate.
I'm stylish. Let me start a styling company.
I've always been. And it doesn't translate that way.
No.
Just because you've had a hobby and you've experienced it doesn't mean that it translates into like the business acumen to succeed in that space.
I know we'll talk about some of these topics, but like hobby, business, career, those things can all mean very different things. And you can be good at one and not great at the other, or like there's some learning.
Exactly. So I think for me, the other thing too about like quitting on something, one is like the fear. There's this dimension of like fear, or like, I'm so comfortable.
Discomfort.
It's discomfort. Exactly.
Even some of what we call fear is discomfort.
Exactly.
It's uncomfortable.
Yes, I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to go back to hustling mode. I now, I don't know. I now, I'm chilled. The second part is also thinking of the energy that it will take to bring yourself back. In the sense, let me give a simple case. For example, if something is not working, you might feel, or let's even take like in the dating phase, if you feel like you've been with someone for a long time, the energy to find someone else, the time it will take to find someone else, you already, like you mentioned, the sunk cost. Those are factors that for me sometimes can be on my mind. But there's this saying that we say in our household that, yesterday was the best time to do it. Today is the next best.
One more thing I'm finding to be helpful in this season of my life is having a board of directors.
Okay, what does that mean?
Like, just
like for yourself?
For myself.
Okay, tell me more.
Like for my career, as an example, do I have 3 people?
Yes.
That are my board, like that moved beyond your mentoring me for this role, but like they've known me, for a good enough time, and they can sometimes help you, when you can't quit yourself or you are struggling.
They can call you out.
They can call you out on your BS and say,
but like, oh girl,
you should quit this, or you should do this differently for the next 6 months and then take a break. Right. So a lot of these things that corporate does well, I'm beginning to think about, like, how can I do such a thing for myself?
Like, there's a reason why those systems work. Yes, exactly.
There's a reason why companies have board of directors and all those things, teams.
Can
you implement a little bit of those into your life.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Yeah, I really, really like that a lot. And then as a result, when you're quitting, it's not just like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
Otilo.
I didn't feel it today.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it today.
The amount of it's more systematic, it's more thoughtful, more intentional on like how you're going about it. I really like that. Okay, let's go to the next point here. Do you think that it's fair to tell people to, because you started your definition with perseverance, do you think it's fair to tell people, oh, just persevere, even though like the deck is stacked against them? So, for example, there are people who, I mean, each person has a struggle that they grew up with. And there's some people that have really had a hard time, either in their upbringing, either in their exposure, not necessarily being able to go to school or go to a good school. So at that point in time, do you think it's just fair to tell them that, oh, just persevere, like your grit will carry you through?
I think grit is something everyone needs to learn at different points.
Yeah.
Now, do I think in every situation you must apply grit? No.
Okay. So what's like gritable versus not gritable? Like,
I mean, like there are some situations maybe in your relationship where all of us are even your friends.
Yeah,
like,
we know.
Hello, don't apply grit here.
We know.
This is not where grit. Be entering this conversation. Get out.
Yeah.
It's okay to end this one, right? But there are some other situations where I just feel like, Doyin, have you applied yourself?
Yes.
Have you done it to the best of your ability, or have you gone out of your way to improve that your ability?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm still using 5-year competence, Like, have you gone on YouTube? Have you done this to learn this thing? And truly, you're just not the best person to do this. Like, have you explored creative options? If you're not the best, well, can't you bring in a friend who is good and partner with them? Which is another thing. Many times we're scared of partnership.
Yes.
Right?
Now the person will steal my idea. Idea
that is not working. Idea that is not
idea that will not even move forward.
Like, and one thing, I won't derail us, but like something someone told me is, I would rather own 1% of something big than 100% of zero.
Nothing. Yeah.
Like, why are we holding on to this idea?
Yeah, exactly.
And ideas are cheap.
Yeah.
People actually, in fact, ChatGPT can give you 100. Yeah. So like what I tell myself is like, have I applied myself?
Yeah.
And if I've gotten to that point where I've done everything that I can do given the circumstance, the situation, I will say yes. It's okay to quit or take a break or something like that. But like, but if I haven't, I'll just persevere. But like, I think what you're asking, like, is it okay to just tell people to persevere even when this situation...
Yes, even when the situation is not the most conducive, or they're just dealing with like real life hardships of, oh, I just need to eat today, or I just need to put food on the table, or I just need to make it through the day. Yeah,
I think it depends on the situation. There are situations where, yes, you should persevere, even if... Let's use an example. Like, you can be in corporate, and maybe I don't like to think as a victim.
Yeah.
This is real world.
Yes.
And sometimes the teams you're on, they just don't see you at a level.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's very real. That's very real.
They just don't see. And when you look around, there's no one that looks like you at that level you're trying to push and break into. So there are some of those situations where the circumstance doesn't favor you.
Yeah.
Now, will your friend say persevere? There are times where I'll still tell that friend, yes, keep persevering in this unfavorable situation.
Yes.
There are many reasons for that. One is, I could be saying that because I want you to learn what it takes in this real world. Because no organization will just, the carpet is there.
Every organization has its own challenges. Even entrepreneurship has its own challenges.
Just pick your heart.
Pick your heart.
Pick your own heart.
That's the name of it. Pick your heart. Yeah.
Right. So it may be because of that. It may be because, like, hey, if you quit this job, your family is going to be hungry, and there's something about survival. That your mental health, you'll be in a worse place.
Yes.
If you don't have a job.
Yes.
Right. And your kids are hungry.
Yeah.
Right. So there could be many reasons where you're like, persevere for 6 months for you to find something else, or persevere for 12 months for you to find something else.
Yeah.
And there's something about knowing that there's an end date to something, or a mental end date, whether that end date is real or not. It helps
you to keep going.
What? I'm almost out of here.
Yeah. I think, like, for me, even in terms of like persevere for just persevere's sake, I feel that there are two things that come to my mind. One, everybody has a strength.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in playing to your strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So granted, you might not necessarily have all the resources to be at a level that you desire at the moment. But I think that with technology, with the way the world has shifted towards being more global, like information is at your fingertips. And so there's so much more that you can learn. There's so much more that you can do with fewer resources. So I would say it's not just like persevering because, oh, let me just bear it. Have a plan of perseverance. I'm persevering because in this season of perseverance, I want to do X, Y, and Z. In this season of perseverance, I want to try my hand at this thing. I want to learn this thing. I want to buy myself time. So like you said, having that end date in mind should be clear to you.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't materialize at that point in time, just like you said, the knowledge that, okay, this is for a season, and I'm persevering for this season because of X, Y, and Z, I think would be how I would position it or frame it.
Yeah.
When I say just persevere, not necessarily that, oh, just be bearing it and be all comfortable
until you can't bear it anymore. But there's also something about like many times I feel like we don't realize how much agency we have in our lives. You know, we depending on where you grew up or how you were raised or how you're raising yourself. Because let's talk about that.
I mean,
my mother didn't raise me well. Once you're 25, I don't want to go and raise yourself.
Yeah, at this point,
it's okay.
Your mom has done her best.
She has done what she could do.
Yeah, she did the new for Did you take it to 25 or not?
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, you
take it from
someone there. Online was saying very soon you'll soon be the forefathers.
Yeah.
The forefathers you're talking about very soon.
My background.
My background. You soon be the
background.
Yeah. So I feel like we don't realize how much agency we have in our lives, right? How much you can change your life in the next 6 months.
Were you always aware that you had agency?
Yes.
Like, at what point were you like, okay, I feel like you had that realization pretty young.
Yeah, very young, maybe 10.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the circumstance around that?
It's a blessing and a curse.
No, it's really good. I actually think that it's a really good thing to realize that, you know what, things also depend on me and how much I push myself forth, even if the cards or the odds are stacked against me. I
think for me, like hearing my dad's story, my dad did not grow up with his family, for very different weird reasons, right? He grew up in Lagos, I think from age 2 or something. So he never really, and seeing what the guy could build.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like from nothing and how, sometimes as a kid, I would go to his office and read some documents and he could not afford the land, but he would negotiate with you that if I help you build this, you give me the land beside it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, this guy didn't even have parents.
Yeah.
Like they were alive, but they were not raising him, right?
Yes,
and he could do all these things. So for me, I've just always thought any reason I give myself for not doing something, it's an excuse.
Yeah.
So like from a young age, I've always felt like I'm in charge of my life.
And you have that agency to drive it.
And I feel very uncomfortable whenever it feels like someone else is
infringing on it. Yeah.
Which is the curse part of it, because like at some point one person needs control, maybe your customers, your boss, I just don't, I'm struggling.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you say, it's not maybe 100%, like zero or nothing. Yeah. It's maybe like an extent. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's always sort of been like that for me. Like, and I think many people should start learning or discovering that they have agency.
100% I agree with that.
Like you have.
Yes.
And right now, in this world we're in, like with YouTube, with AI, with all this technology at your fingertips.
Yeah, leveraging your agency so much.
So much. Yeah, like
so much easier.
Just, you may not be a billionaire. That's not what I'm saying, because I'm not minimizing people that just come from a lot of wealth or a lot of privileges. But if you're alive, you have privilege.
Yeah. Hey.
Full stop.
Hey. Talking about like billionaires and like wealth, do you think it's easier or harder to have grit when you have a safety net, when money is like just...
Money
you don't have anything to lose now.
Money is plenty.
Money is disturbing.
The problem now is how to spend.
Yeah.
No, that's something I've like that has been on my mind for, and like being a mom, like I've always thought about like if I give this child so much privilege, especially if I want her to be an only child, man, I don't know who will teach her this grit.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Like, exactly.
Yeah, so it's something that I've always thought about because I think it's so important for kids to learn grit.
Okay. You've kind of brought me to the next point.
Okay.
I think for maybe you and I, and a lot of maybe listeners out there, feel free to drop your comments on your own experience, have sort of developed their own grit because of how they grew up, what they didn't have. I mean, circumstances, like just seeing hardship and struggle. You're like, I must make it. Whatever that means, I must make it. And now as parents, we now take on the notion again of like, yes, I want my kid to have grit, but I want them to have a soft life.
Yeah.
So like, how do they learn grit in that circumstance? How do they?
Yeah, I think that's the really, really hard thing to do, especially like being born here, first of all, is a huge
advantage.
Huge privilege.
Huge advantage.
And I hope they recognize that, right?
Yeah.
So there are just some things that work in this system where, like, as an example, when I walk into like my daughter's swim lesson, all I'm seeing is business, opportunity. Up dollars
floating around.
Because like, but then I think my daughter would likely never see it that way because to me, it's standard for her. It's basic, but to me, as the swim instructor, the swim company that train the swim trainer or whatever, you don't have to build the pool.
Yes.
You do not have to even manage your logistics. There's a company that manages your own logistics.
Yeah.
All you have to do is show up or hire teachers.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, do you actually know how many billion steps you have to go through in another world to create this opportunity, this small opportunity? And you know, that lady is making a living teaching kids comfortably.
Yeah.
They have 2 cars.
Yes.
You know, so those are some of the things I'm like, how do I train my daughter to see opportunity, to have the grit, to want to persevere? So like, I think it's very difficult, but I think it's so important for kids to learn it. And like, there are different things you can do. Like one, like as an example, I'll pay for a curriculum that I know is above her, and I want her to start saying that this thing is difficult today, but if I just keep trying,
stay with it,
it will be easy tomorrow. And to delay gratification.
So that's a huge one, delay gratification, which I also think that like for parents, we need to be really conscious about that. And I know I'm kind of like a softie, but I have to almost like caution myself, like, hey, there's a reason why you yourself, you need to temper it out, because at the end of the day, you want this child to grow into an individual that's fully functioning, that is resilient in society, that can adapt. And you just like being at beck and call does not necessarily provide that. And resilience, even if you have a lot of wealth, is so important. When I read about all these like successful entrepreneurs or even presidents or whatever, that resilience, that keep trying spirit is kind of what has differentiated them. Because we don't talk, we say, oh, but this person's from a wealthy family, maybe Dangote or whoever. Do we also remember the many people that are from wealthy families that blew it? Yes. Like, they're still there. They're still there, right? Begging from the ones that made it.
You know, so I feel like resilience is so important. And I think the hardest thing for me is not jumping in.
Yes.
I'm that parent that will jump in. Oh, you can't do it. Let me help you.
Yes.
That let me help you.
Yeah.
I think it's making me feel good and destroying my daughter's future.
Yes, of which we'll get into it in our next episode. Like the balance of like parenting for your own benefit or ego versus like parenting for like raising another human being.
So I'm trying to train myself to not jump in every time.
Yeah. But let's come back again to passion, especially at like this age, not necessarily from the kid's standpoint, but at this age, I personally feel that you can persist in your passion. You can persist in something that interests you because you kind of have like that safety net of work where you're like, last, if this passion doesn't pan out, I still have a way to like survive. And I think there's something to be said about, first of all, pursuing what enables you to live before pursuing passion. Like if passion is your starting point, you cannot live off of air and I don't know. I'm passionate.
Even water is not free.
Yeah,
so air and water.
What? I don't know.
Water is not free.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, I feel like it is somewhat, to some extent, easier to persist in a passion, in a business that's maybe like a side hustle, when you already have established something that is your mainstream of income, especially when you have like maybe dependents or yeah.
I mean, there's an argument against that,
Okay, go for
right?
it.
Which is, if you always have that thing to fall back on, that passion will never work.
I think it's
passion needs hustle.
Yes.
And are you the type that has $1 million to your name, and you be passion, you can give everything that passion?
I mean, if you already have $1 million,
why you pursue passion? So there's always that. And I've experienced it where you're like, you know what, I can't keep wasting my time on this business. I'll go back to my job, which I did. I once went back to my job after I pursued fashion. I genuinely thought
you pursued fashion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fashion was going to be the career of my life. I was passionate.
Wow.
I went to fashion school even as a teenager.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I went back to work. I was, earning well. I'm like, this passion is not working. You see,
I'm not passionate anymore.
I'm not passionate. When you're hungry and you can see the graph of your future going down. You're like, bro.
Okay, to be fair, and maybe I might change my opinion later on. But for me, I think that.
But I agree with you. Let's be clear.
Okay.
But I'm just saying there's an argument
that too much comfort also
is problematic. And that's why, even if my daughter is a trust fund baby, which I do, who is living trust fund for whoever. me that I want to create trust fund for myself.
Do that.
Yeah, even if she were a trust fund baby, I'm still struggling with like, how should she know?
Yeah. No. If she has to know, at what age should she know?
There's because I'm like, you can't hustle if you if you already
know what
am I?
Yeah.
Oh, now please. Yeah, but
like I'm set.
Yeah, but on the topic of passion, I think it depends on your passion.
Okay.
Some passions are just not lucrative. Let all of us be honest. Let's say you're a musical artist.
Okay.
Please, and you see, I think a lot of people think they are the exception. One of my pet peeves, when you just randomly think you're Bill Gates or Elon.
Like, have you done from there down?
Have you done the work to be 1/10 of those people? The way they work, the way they show up. Like, you've not done all that, anything but Bill Gates did it.
Yeah. And they're ready to quit.
They are ready to quit because of or Mark Zuckerberg. You see, when people from certain places reference Mark Zuckerberg,
yes. For me, I kind of take that with a grain of salt. Yes, I think that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but he was a dropout or whatever.
Yes. I'm like, but do you know? Yes,
is you that you are in a school we don't know. Like why are you referencing these people that they are not enough? Let me just put
and
it
also,
that way.
to be fair, I don't know that the intent when they started out was to be this. Yes, exactly.
They're just there building.
Yeah.
You've not even built prototype.
You're afraid plan.
You've not everything you want to leave school. Like what? Anyway, we won't go into that. But passion, I think it depends on your passion. Some passions are not lucrative.
Yeah.
If you're a musical artist, like there's a lot of data, and I think not enough people play with numbers.
Okay.
You can go online. Like, this is information our parents will walk whatever miles to go to the library and
to get.
Now just Google it
on your phone.
On your phone. Yeah, and see how many musical artists make it in whatever city or whatever country. Right? Some of those professions, the 1% that make it big.
Yeah, it's really
big. But the 90% that did not make it, they have to do 5 jobs.
Yeah, it can be tough.
Yeah, to pursue that passion.
Yeah.
Right? So if you already are passionate about something that's not lucrative, I would think about like, what else can I do on this side to be the money machine while I pursue my passion.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
And you can be more passionate, even side hustles, which is not the topic, but you can do your side hustles better when you're not thinking of where will I get food tomorrow,
yes,
which is the point you were making.
That for
so
me.
I sort of I agree.
And I think even to some extent it allows that creativity, which is what you're seeking when you talk about passion, to flow when you don't have that pressure of like, oh my goodness, this is make or break for me financially.
But if your passion is coding in the last 10, 20 years, of course, go pursue your passion, you know.
I mean,
I'm very happy with your passion.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about AI and that too.
Yeah. But
okay.
at least the last 20 years,
Yes,
there's been a rise,
has
right?
shifted.
If that was your passion, go and you should have pursued it.
By now. Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about the boring part.
Okay.
So we've talked about you having motivation to do something and then the ability to persevere. But practically speaking, you hinted at that a little bit. What are the systems that help you in that boring in between of like my setting my goal and being motivated to achieving that goal? What is that boring? What are the systems that shift you from point A to point B?
Yeah, I think like at least I used to do this with all these New Year resolutions. We spend a lot of time setting the goals, not building the systems. And I think like we should also like spend more time building the systems, the processes. And for me, if you want to get to point A, from point A to point B, first I'm assuming you've defined point B. Because some of us
we have not defined.
Yeah, and you've put a timeline to point B. I want to make $100,000 in 12 months from X.
Yes.
You know, by December 31st, right? Even if you don't achieve it, write it down. Right. So you've defined all those things. Then I think the boring stuff is where the magic happens.
Yes.
Build systems. Let's say I want to lose 20 pounds in 12 months. How many pounds do I need to lose in 1 month? And then you say, what do I need to do? What calorie deficit? And then you need to get it to the point where you are like 7 a.m. every morning, 5 times a week, I will wake up and I will do 30 minutes of X. Like super clear.
Detailed.
Which we know how to do at work.
Yes, but you see that personal
one.
That's
at
the
work,
problem.
when you are writing next steps, you know everything, right? So you need to get to that point where you narrow it down to the daily habits. And it's in those daily habits that I feel like the magic happens. Whether that's you want to make 100K, what do you need to make every month? And then get it down to every day I will reach out to X. Right? Whether X responds. And the other thing, or the second thing, is a lot of our plans, we make it rely on other people. I've learned over the last few years, I will focus on the plans that rely on me.
The things I can do.
The things I can do, right? Don't write your plan as I will have a 30-minute chat with 2 customers.
Have you found a customer?
Have you? Are they your parents? Right? You need to write it as like, I will reach out to 15 potential customers every weekday at 8 a.m. Like, and every week,
be on it.
It's in those, forget your goals. Once you've put all those systems in place, like you want to, let's say you want to achieve FIRE or whatever. FIRE is financial. Independence, retire, whatever. If you want to make $1 million in the next 5 years, you need to get to that you've not even set up account and automatic investments. You say you want to make $1 million, right? But you need to put those things in place. The systems, that's where the magic happens.
I think for me, even just topping on top of that, I'm pretty invested in metrics. Like, how do you know if you're on track, if you're waiting for the last day of your goal to measure the thing that you care about?
Like December 31st.
December 31st. That's when you
your birthday.
That's when you have to check your account balance to see if the 100,000
if the 100,000
has come. So for me, I feel like you said, if your goal is 100,000 in a year, then mid-January,
you should.
How much have I brought in? End of January. So for me, I believe a lot in like measurement, to know whether I'm on track
or not.
And that helps you also change things along the way. Because sometimes some things work in the beginning, and then halfway through. And even we mentioned this in like an offline chat. By March, by April, you've even forgotten what your goal is. So if you're not measuring it, how you?
By April, you're like,
what did I even set again?
And there's also something to be said about like the number of goals. I know you told me to read The Power of One Thing. Yeah, that's a book. Shameless plug, but go read it. I'm still reading it. But I used to set 10 goals.
That one. I used to set goal for 10 years.
Like, you reasonably should just have 2 goals or 3. Like you are not that. You can't do that. Except they are not goals. They
are just distill it into like daily steps that for me are like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I on my to-do list in a day, to be honest with you, when I think of like work-wise, I'm not talking about like functionally, but like work-wise, I don't put more than 2 or 3 things on there.
Even per week for me, I put 2 goals I want to achieve every week.
I mean, if we do it out of time, then I have time to add 2 more.
Yeah.
But
for now, focus on
let's
those
do those 2.
You, instead of 10 goals, start with 2 goals, and then maybe in June you've achieved all your goals for the year, which we should applaud you.
Yeah,
email us because we need to shout you out.
Yes, please let us know so that we can share your secrets.
Put an email in the description. If you've achieved your goal by April, please,
let us know.
You deserve a section in this podcast.
Yeah, actually, you come and tell us how you achieved it.
Right?
Yes.
And then by March or June, when you've achieved all your 2026 goals, then add more.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. As opposed to the 10 million that you set
at the beginning that you won't even achieve one.
By 31st, you forgot.
You've forgotten. We move next year, right? Yeah. So just to summarize, if you are trying to get from point A, you've set all your goals for 2026 and you really want to achieve them. We've talked about a few things. One is set that point B, what you're trying to achieve by when, put a timeline. But also the second thing is build systems, narrow it down to like daily habits, daily actions you will take that will become habits, right? You're going to do X at 5 a.m. every weekday. There's that. And also, like Simone said, like around measuring. Also set timelines, like I will check every 45 days how much I've done on my goals. Like set timelines, review, and cross correct. What else?
Yeah, I'd say that. Start there. Start from there. And then if you don't achieve it,
if you don't achieve it,
come back. we need to table it. Yeah, we need to table it.
Yeah.
Wait, the next thing I wanted us to kind of touch on a little bit is, what is a hard thing in your life, something difficult that you feel like you can't quit, even though it's exhausting?
Hard thing in my life that I can't quit. It has to do with my personal life because career. One day I'll be tired. One day I'll be tired. It has to be like, I find it difficult to. I don't know if it's not savior mentality.
Okay.
Anyway, anything related to family.
Okay.
Like quitting caring for my mom. It's a very tangible example for me. Sometimes it's exhausting. I find sometimes family is exhausting.
Family is exhausting.
It could be exhausting sometimes. But you're just like, I'll just keep going because it's family.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the one that's really hard. But I found difficult to quit, even when I threatened to quit.
I feel like
I'm like, I would never pick your call. I will block everybody.
You will still pick up job. The funny thing that they know.
They know. They've seen you.
They don't know that you pick up. I think for me it's the same thing. Things that are like aligned with my values, I struggle. Like I know that last I'll be tired. I'll take a break. I'll come back. Family. Yeah, even just like the basic things, like we're talking a little bit offline. I was about like making dinner, and I was just said that that's one of my least favorite chores. But
I'll
soon hire a chef. No, when I blow, I when I blow, I chef. But I mean, at the end of the day, those are people that matter to me, and
you want them to eat healthy.
Yeah, and I just want to take care of them too. Yeah. So that's something that I say no go for me. Okay. The last question that we'll end with, what is one thing in life, and you kind of touched on this a little bit, that you think deserves your grit, your perseverance, and what's one thing that you're going to give yourself permission to stop, to stop it?
Oh wow, I didn't think of that.
And the reason we're asking this question is also because it's something that we're wrestling with ourselves, so we might not necessarily know the answer. So guys, feel free to share with us.
We'd love to hear what you want to persevere on and what you want to quit on. Persevere. Does exercise count?
Yeah, it counts now.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm really enjoying seeing the changes in my body from exercise. Even though I'm not losing weight, I've given up on that.
Yeah.
I've given up. I don't grow bigger. I don't get smaller. I'm just there.
Yeah.
So I think exercise I'm beginning to enjoy. Before it started from a position of like, they say if I don't do this, I'll die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me shall do.
Yeah. So exercise is one that maybe I'll keep doing. But I was trying to think of something deeper, but I can't come up
Sometimes
with anything.
it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really not that deep.
Yeah. Oh, I have one.
Okay.
Something I really want to. It's not very specific. It's I want to. I think I'll continue to lean into things I can do for myself, like this topic of agency.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets tough, but
Yeah.
like if a situation just doesn't work for me, like in my career, I will take the step and be bold enough to change the circumstance. And I think I'm dealing with a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And so that's something I want to keep doing.
Oh, that's fun.
Something I want to quit on.
Yeah. Maybe it's never.
No. Okay. Yeah. Eba, yeah. No, I can't quit that one. No. What will my forefathers say?
No,
They will
I can't
be
try that.
upset.
No.
That's a that's really bad. Yeah. As a Yoruba person. But something I want to quit is too much of other people's lives.
How do you mean?
I'm overwhelmed sometimes with seeing what other people are doing, achieving. And just because of my nature, I tend to internalize that and say, oh, I'm so qualified to do that. Let me go do it.
Yeah.
Right? I can do that. I can actually do it with these 10 other things. And so right now, for now at least, I want to reduce how much time I spend looking at other people's lives.
That's fair. And
so that's what I'm
regain
quitting.
time of focusing on the things you need to do for yourself.
For myself.
Yeah,
so that's kind of... Those are my two things.
I think those are good ones.
What are yours?
I think for me, the thing that I want to fully embrace or give myself permission to stop doing is caring about what other people think. Like, I just want to be there that, you know what, you're really entitled to your opinion and that's okay. But that's also your opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's
the one. And then permission for myself to keep at it. Is so just one foot in front of the other, consistency.
Oh yeah, you said that earlier.
That's something I'm really leaning into this year, is and not necessarily blind consistency, not consistency because of sunk cost and all of that, but just being consistent because this is something I actually believe in and I just want to give my time to it. Yeah. I think that's about it. Do you want to
wrap us up?
You wrap us up?
Okay. On that note, people, we'll wrap up this episode, but send us an email or put a comment below just sharing some of your goals. And we should think about ways we can also help you to stay accountable and achieve your goals, because this year we must achieve.
All of us.
Everybody,
you guys
must
and us.
If you are part of this community, you must
achieve,
right?
Yeah.
So send us your comments and let us know what you're working with, and if you have goals, and we will share our perspective if we have anything just to help you get from point A to B.
Yeah.
And on that note,
see you guys next time.
See you next time.